And Drive on BBC Radio Derby. Now, if you've managed to catch any of Martin Williams' Top Floor this week, you'll have been listening to the lovely live sessions from May Moneypenny. She's a 20-year-old musician from Mickleover with a very unique and fresh sound. Have a listen to this.
Promise you'll remember that you're mine. You can see through the tears I loved you more. And those people before say you'll remember, baby. I will love you till the end of time.
How amazing is that? But there is more to May's story, and she wants to get the message out that if she can do it, then you can do it too. To explain more, it's May herself. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Now, how do you feel hearing your music on the radio?
Oh, it feels so strange, to be honest. Like, hearing myself is a bit like...
Is it a bit
mad?
Is it a bit freaky? Is it a bit like,
yeah, it's a bit freaky.
Now, just to talk about you, obviously Martin has been talking about your music.
Yeah.
But there's a sort of a backstory with you, isn't there? You were diagnosed as autistic.
Yeah. I've been autistic since I was diagnosed since I was autistic, since I was about 13. So it definitely changed the way that I lived as a person, but like I didn't know why I was the way I was before, but now I know, so it's like a little bit easier, but it's still quite difficult because my brain doesn't like to function the normal way. So, but yeah.
Okay. So when you said it sort of changed the way you live, was it once you got that diagnosis, it was a bit easier to understand?
Yeah, it opened my eyes a little bit to like why I was so different and why I acted the way I did, which it was nice to be able to do that. And it's also probably nice for like my parents and stuff like that to actually realise like why I was the way I was. I feel bad for them not knowing.
And how was it for your school life? I mean, was it easy for you at school, or was it a really tricky time for you?
School was kind of difficult. I was bullied in school, so I think a lot of people don't know how to cope with like the autistic people. So it's like, sorry.
No, that's fine. So it was a hard time for you.
It was. It was difficult.
Okay, but looking ahead, I mean, you have got this amazing music. You've been on the top floor with Martin Williams.
Yeah.
Your songs have been played on the radio. You're only 20 years old.
Yeah.
And for you, this must be a great way of sort of expressing yourself.
Yeah, I find it very difficult in a way who's like seen or whatever, because I'm stuttering a little bit and stuff. I find it very difficult to talk with, like, say things with words. So when it comes to doing music, it's kind of like an outlet for me. When like I'm not able to say what I want to say in words, I'll say it in a song. So
okay, I find that absolutely fascinating because you do it so remarkably well. How long have you been singing?
I've been singing since I was 3, and I said this on the top floor, but I think it was like, you know, around that age where I had a singing lesson. And it was one of my mum's friends, and she went up to my mum afterwards and she said, "Your daughter has perfect pitch."
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't have perfect pitch because I don't know the theory stuff of everything, but I'm good at picking out notes. So it's something that I've been doing obviously for my whole life since then. And performing's been only, as I said, like a couple of years or so, but like it's just like, yeah, it's something that I've always done.
So how do you feel when you perform your own songs?
It feels honestly kind of nerve-wracking because it's, as I said, it's the things that you can't say, I can't say through words. I sing it. So whenever I want to show how I feel, it's like that thing. So you're showing off a lot of your emotions and a lot of like the worries that you have and everything. Like my songs are kind of very deep and to me like meaningful.
Really personal.
Yeah, personal. Yeah, that's the word.
Okay. Do you find it easy to be creative? Do you find it easy to write your songs?
It's not easy. It's something that once I'm in that mindset, I can do very, very quickly. But it's often a case of I have to wait, maybe, like, I think it's the same with most musicians, to be fair, but I have to wait, and like sometimes it's like a couple of months before I can write a new song or something like that. So, but sometimes it's like a couple of days, and you can do a song within like a couple of months, or you can do a song within a couple of days. So it just depends. Like,
what does the future hold for you, May? What would you like to be doing, say, in a year's time? Music is obviously the forefront of all that.
Yeah, I feel like I would love to get some music out there, because I haven't actually got any music on like Spotify or anything yet, sadly. I'm working on it though. I'm working with a musician called Nina Smith, who's helping me out quite a lot. So, but I'm hoping to like release some music and hopefully play some bigger shows and stuff like that, because that would be quite cool. I've got a few upcoming ones. I'm playing at the Chameleon in Nottingham on the 5th of September. I'm supporting Marty, they're my friends. So, and then I'm playing the DH Lawrence Festival in Eastwood as well. So I'm doing quite a lot, but I would like to do loads more, because I feel like if you're a musician, then you always want to do more. So
yeah, of course. I mean, that's absolutely brilliant. You're out doing gigs and stuff. And I think if anyone's listening who's maybe worried about their child who's been diagnosed with autism, and you're a great beacon for people that it doesn't need to stop you doing anything, does it?
No, it doesn't need to. I feel like if you're listening out there and you have a child that's autistic, or you are autistic yourself and you're struggling, it's just a case of putting yourself in that mindset of you can do it and stuff like that. Like, I'm autistic and yet I'm still performing. It's not just the like stereotypical autism you see on TV. It's a lot more than that, and you can do a lot more than you think you can. So
do you know what? That's perfect advice to end on. May Moneypenny, thanks so much for coming in to chat about us, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.